Good morning. Welcome to Thinking is Contagious, back from Anna Maria Island. Uh, Mixed reviews, not my cup of tea too much. I didn't find it a very friendly town. Um, as a matter of fact, we were in a group with three automobiles, three people, three groups, three automobiles. Everyone got a parking ticket. And I talked to the director of the parking codes enforcement people and said, oh, we have a website and you should read it before you come. Well, who goes on vacation and reads the website about parking rules? My point to her was, you're a tourist town and you live on tourism, and a warning would have sufficed for innocuous. One of the tickets was on private property, on the swale of the home we rented, because the car was parked facing the wrong direction against traffic. Another one was because one of the tires was off the swale and on about 3 to 4 inches, and I'm not exaggerating, of the sidewalk. Okay, technically yes, it's wrong, but like I said to the enforcement officer, a warning would have sufficed. I said, you know what? You just took $65 or $75, whatever the ticket is, out of the coffers, the cash register of one of these businesses that we were going to visit, because somebody's going to help us pay for that. And I think that it was not. To me, Anna Maria Island was not a very good vacation spot. I enjoyed it tremendously because I was with my one of my sons and his family, my two of my grandkids and my daughter-in-law, and we had a very good time, my wife and I, because of that. So we enjoyed being with the family, but definitely could have used a different venue, and I would not recommend Anna Maria Island. But everyone has different tastes. Anyway, that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about Robert Gates. Robert Gates was the CIA director under George Bush Sr., and then he was the Secretary of Defense under Bush Jr. and Obama. So he was under a Republican and a Democrat. And Gates said something when asked about Biden. He said in his 40-plus years in office, Gates said in Biden's 40-plus years in office, he's been always wrong on geopolitical issues. He's always makes the wrong call. And I think you're seeing it here with Afghanistan. Not that Trump doesn't have his hands in the cookie jar and is just as culpable, negotiating with the Taliban and releasing 5,000 prisoners, getting nothing in return. But I think what Biden has done, it's ridiculous. It shows his ineptitude. It shows his willingness, not his willingness, the mandate that he must say whatever he's told by the left. It doesn't matter how bad he looks. He knows he has to say it, otherwise his family will be exposed for the criminal conduct. So he comes out and says, to think that Afghanistan is going to be like Saigon when we left Vietnam, he goes, that's absurd. That's not going to happen. Guess what? It's worse. The Americans fleeing Afghanistan are holding the door open for the Taliban. It's right behind them. Okay, I don't know if you saw the video of an Air Force plane, carrier plane, taxiing down a runway, and millions of Afghanistan, not millions, but hundreds of Afghanistan civilians running alongside, begging to let them in so that they can get out of Afghanistan, clinging to the wheel wells to get out of Afghanistan. This is a catastrophe that is being engineered by the ineptitude of Joe Biden. And he's going to go on today at 4 o'clock, and you're going to hear him justifying and talking. Guess what? Listen carefully to what he says. I'm not going to listen, because I refuse to listen to that corpse that is just repeating what he's been fed, the narrative, to keep himself and his kid out of jail. Okay? But he's going to try to justify this. There's no justifying it. He's wrong. Like Robert Gates said, he's always wrong. He's wrong on this. By the way, on China, I don't know if you remember, but when he was running for president, one of his big speeches, come on now, come on, guys, or whatever he's famous saying was, he said, and Trump is trying to say that China's going to eat our lunch. Come on, guys. China can't compete with us. China can't compete with the United States. And now listen to him. And now look what China's doing. Joe Biden is total ineptitude. Read his history. Read his accomplishments. There are none. Read his decisions, how he votes on issues. He's always wrong. Always wrong. And that's the President of the United States. The weekend at Biden's. A dead man walking. Who will say and do whatever is told, whatever has to happen, whatever he is fed, he must say it, and he knows it. Because if not, Hunter goes in. And his brother goes in, and Joe goes in, and they all go in. Because they're criminals. So, we're watching Afghanistan. The Taliban have taken over it in about 3 hours. And we have absolutely no say in what's going on there. And the whole world knows that Joe Biden is a laughingstock. Do you think Russia and China is not watching this carefully, very carefully, and saying, we can act with impunity against the United States because Joe Biden has no say. And it is the left progressives that are going to dictate what he can or can't do. And the progressive left is not going to go after us. So we can do whatever we want. Joe Biden is a scam, a sham, a disgrace, an embarrassment. And let me tell you, I'll call you out there who voted for him, what you have done to this country by casting a vote for a dead man walking. Hopefully we can make up for this. Hopefully we can recoup some of these tremendous losses that we've taken in just a very short period of time, in a 6-month period of time. Tremendous losses. But what do you expect from the liberals? What do you expect from the left progressives? They don't care about what's real. They don't care about doing the right thing. What they care about is promoting the agenda. Promoting the agenda. I don't know if you saw, to show you the difference between conservatives and the progressive left, Coney Barrett, the Supreme Court justice that was so vilified by the left because she was going to do Trump's bidding, remember? And that he got her in under the radar to replace Ginsburg, and how she was going to shift the courts. And there was an appeal of the mask. I believe it was mask wearing, in a university, asking for the ban, the requirement to wear masks by a certain universities. A group of students filed an appeal to the Supreme Court to strike it down. And Coney Barrett is the one who gave the opinion that the school had the right to enforce the mask mandate. Didn't go into any further detail, just dismissed the case and showed what a true Supreme Court justice and why she was so highly touted by Donald Trump and why she was so highly respected and why she shows you how a conservative thinks, open-minded, fair, reasonable, and does not vote policy and policy lines, political lines. No, did the opposite.